So the FOMC decision is going to be announced in just a few minutes here. And basically, this is going to set the tone for the rest of the year, of course, but then also we have several other FOMC decisions that will be made in 2026. So the next one is going to be January. So the information that we get from this FOMC is going to help us make better decisions in the market, not just for this month, but also going into the new year, and then also what we could potentially expect for the 2026 FOMC rate decision. So if you ever wondered why your trades may feel slow some months and then also like just kind of pick up a little bit in some other months, basically it's kind of slow and then it speeds up and you're like, okay, what just happened here? That is because of all of the economic events that happens throughout the year. And FOMC, which stands for Federal Open Market Committee, is one of those. And basically in the next 15 or so minutes that I'm going to be here live, we're just going to talk about what I'm watching and also what it means for early 2026 and how I'm personally adapting my trading for this. So somebody's asking that, I'm going to answer that in a little bit. So anyway, cool. So basically, if you're new here and you want to learn how to trade successfully, maybe you haven't taken your first trade, then go ahead and check out the Trading Launchpad. That's where I help new people who are beginning traders. And then also, the people who may be new or maybe not yet successful in the markets, then they can go ahead and check out the Profitable Traders Academy. So both of those will help you out if you're looking to get strong in the markets. So yes, the news is coming up, or at least the rate decision is coming up in a few seconds. So it'll be interesting to see what the markets do. So the gold market specifically has basically just been like this. Hasn't really been doing anything. And I've been waiting because, okay, cool, 5 seconds. I've been waiting because like there's really nothing to do. So, okay, let's see. I see pending. So I'm looking at forexfactory.com right now. I'm not sharing my screen. Hey, what's up? Okay, cool. So it looks like it's what we expect. So we were expecting a 0.25% rate cut. That is 25 basis points. And basically what this means is that more money will be flowing inside of the markets. So we could expect for the markets to react to that. Actually, let me go to my charts and see how the markets are actually reacting, especially the gold market, because that's mostly what I'm looking at. Okay. Ooh, we have a nice push on gold. Nice push. What is this? Woo. Okay. 1,500 pips. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, let me check my options. Okay, cool. Because I also have options contracts as well. So, okay, cool. That's moving a little bit. But the XAU market just had a really strong candle and it's pushing up higher. So we'll see. So usually when these events drop, I don't like to trade or get into trades right when it happens. I like to wait a little bit. Typically, in my experience, the market will die down or settle down a little bit in about 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, ooh, we got a nice rejection. Let's wait and see. In about an hour. And Jerome Powell is supposed to be speaking, or there's supposed to be a press conference in 30 minutes. So I'm not gonna be on here for that because I'd rather just watch that and go get some lunch. But anyway, I like to see how these markets are reacting initially. Let's look at the equity markets. Okay, let me go to like the SPY. Look at the SPY. SPY. I just want to see how that's moving. And then US 30, I want to see how that's moving as well. Okay. Okay. So US 30, okay. Cool. What about the SPY? SPY. I'm just pulling this up in TradingView for myself. Okay, let's look at the hour. Okay, yep. It's kind of doing the same type of movement that you just saw on gold if you were looking at gold. It's the same kind of movement. So that's why I said 30 minutes to an hour is usually good. Okay, cool. All right, let me get back to my little notes because I did just want to talk about some other stuff as well. But basically, like I said, what this means is that there is more money inside of the market. So typically what that also means is that the dollar is weaker because they are cutting the rates. So here in the United States, what we were able to buy, let's just say, yesterday, in the future, it may buy us less. So that's one of the things about rate cuts that are not typically good when it comes to the dollar. But people who are abroad, because the dollar is weaker, it means that there's a potential for their currency to be stronger. So they have a little bit more purchasing power when it comes to purchasing things, especially if they were trying to buy something here or buy something in the markets, then it could be better for them. So it's not all bad. It's definitely a good thing. At least in this current climate where people are getting laid off, companies are downsizing, and all these different things. So basically, what these rate cuts should do is should stimulate the economy, and then it should also provide opportunities for companies to maybe make more investments, like in people and infrastructure and all these other things. So it could be really, really good. So basically, I'm just looking at gold. Gold for the most part. I am looking at some of the equity markets as well. So basically just the major indices. Ooh, that's pulling back a lot on S&P 500. Let's see how US 30 is doing. Yeah, US 30 is doing the same thing. Let's look at gold. Dang, gold is doing the same thing. So right now, US 30, gold, and the S&P 500 are basically showing the exact same type of movement inside of the markets. That's interesting. That's why I want to wait. I think another thing with these as well is that people want to wait to see what Jerome Powell or somebody from the FOMC committee says, because that also, not just the number that we got right now, but also any other comments that they say will give people clues as to what we can expect for maybe the next rate cut or just rate cuts in general for 2026. So yeah, this is, okay, it's only been 4 minutes. So anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely waiting. But right now it pushed up and then it had a sharp fall. So about almost 50% fall. So we'll just wait. But anyway, okay, cool. So basically, I talked about the rates. So usually when rates come down, markets are expanding, like I said, more money into the economy when rates are rising. So in the past, we've had rate hikes, and that just basically means that the market generally contracts during that time. And then sometimes the FOMC committee may have a pause where they don't change the rate at all. They're like, okay, we like how things are looking. We're not going to change the rates at all. And sometimes that does happen. But for 2026, there has been talks. I just saw an article on CNBC where it said that the Feds are likely to feature a rate cut and a lot more for 2026. Yes, Mel, that is a good thing to do. Right now, I'm just waiting. That's what she says. That is a great thing to do. Like I said, I like to wait 30 minutes to an hour because it's going to be so volatile. And especially because pretty much not just the gold market, but other markets was just kind of like doing this, not really doing anything because they wanted confirmation on a decision, even though some of this information is already priced in, but not all of it. That's a good point. All right, cool. So, okay, great. So when I first started trading, I didn't know anything about FOMC. I didn't know anything about the other events. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I'll finish my thought and then I'll come back to the comment. But basically, I didn't know anything about these events, and it cost me so much money not knowing anything about these events. So one person just commented about the S&P 500. They're like, okay, well, maybe when the dust settles, then it'll start ranging or whatever again. We just don't know. That's why I'm waiting. But that's a good point. Okay, but anyway, I didn't know anything. So I started trading very blindly when it comes to a lot of these events, and I lost so much money because and then it got to a point where I understood something about these different events, and then I would try to anticipate if it's going to go up, if it's going to go down. So I remember one time during CPI on gold, it worked out perfectly, where basically I got into the move before the number popped up on, I'm using Forex Factory, but the number popped up and then it went in my direction. And I remember it was less than a minute. I got 20% gain on my account. So that was awesome. Now this was a tiny account, but still 20% is 20%. So that was awesome. And I remember like pressing the button like crazy, just like trying to get out. And eventually I got out, and it was actually a 20% gain. It would have been more if I could have got out sooner, but in volatile news markets or volatile events like this, anything is possible. So anyway, so basically I don't trade the news or I don't trade events anymore just because it's a lot of stress. And second, like trying to guess the direction. Sometimes like the numbers could go one way, but then the market goes an opposite way. That happens so much. So basically just waiting until the dust settles is going to be the best. And it's something that I just stick to because I don't want to just give the market my money. It's like I've earned it. Let me just wait. So, oh yeah, she said she's been bitten so many times trying to trade during these times. I know, right? Same. Same. So anyway, if you have like some sort of event like FOMC or something like that, at least what I like to do is I like to know the expectation before the decision. So you're obviously going to find that information on forexfactory.com. There's also just general news sites like Bloomberg. Oh man, he said he lost 10 out of 10. Yeah, trying to catch the move before it happens. Absolutely. For these events, it's CNBC. It's also Bloomberg. It's also, just any big news site is going to have a whole bunch of articles. And basically, you'll get to a point where you read two and it's basically saying the same thing. But at least you have some sort of expectation and you understand. Sometimes they give some history or some context, and that's really helpful as well. And the more you read, of course, the better you get at these things. But also a lot of times in the first 1 to 3 minutes, you will see, like we saw here, we saw a spike up in the gold market, in the S&P market, in other markets. We saw a spike up and then a push down. Let me look at the markets because I haven't looked at it in a few minutes. Okay, now it's pushing back up. Wow. See, I'm waiting. It's too volatile. But basically, you want to focus on the reaction to the news and not just, what they're saying in the headlines, because sometimes the headlines are driven just to get you to click. Of course, we all know that, but it still kind of works. So I like to focus on what they're actually saying in the body of it, not just what the headline says. And then also, volatility, of course, does present an opportunity for us, but it's being smart about when to execute on that volatility. And for me, it's not going to be right now because we're only almost 10 minutes in terms of getting the decision. And in 20 minutes, we will have some press conference statements from either Jerome Powell or somebody from the FOMC committee. And like I said, 30 to 60 minutes after. So I just like to wait. But basically, if you're watching this and you're thinking, I want to learn how to navigate this stuff without being glued to the charts all day, because I know some of you are watching this on your lunch break. Some of you are at work right now. You don't have to tell me that you are. But basically, I know some of you are doing other things right now and you want to know like what you should be expecting when we get these sort of events. Then that's what the programs that I've created are built for. We have people in there that have zero knowledge and are learning things in order to get them on the path to consistent profitability. And then we also have people that may have traded these events and have lost, or maybe have been in the markets for 4, 5, 6 years and still not consistently profitable. And these people are seeing incredible progress. Everybody's going to be different, but everybody is seeing some level of progress. And I'm there twice a week in the Profitable Traders Academy, helping people, answering questions, and helping them with their trades. So it's all good. This person said they would have preferred that the news report made the S&P go down. I know, right? Sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to go. I actually want it to go up because I have a couple other trades that I'm in and they need to push up so I can cash out before Christmas. That's what I'm trying to do. So funny. I would love to know how to build a small account. I'd be good with paying bills and saving up for retirement. That's a good one. And that's actually a really good point. When I first started trading, of course, we're all getting into this because we want to make money ASAP. And for me, I got to a point where after I lost a whole bunch of money, I'm talking about over almost $30,000 in this particular situation where I was trying to trade NFP, and I didn't even know about NFP at the time, which is non-farm payrolls, in case you don't know what NFP is. It's the first Friday of every single month where the numbers get reported. Basically, after that event, I had to take some time off from trading because I was just like, I'm in the markets too much and I want to be able to not have this take all of my savings, because at that time I was trading on savings. And I got to a point where I started to get mentorship. That really turned things around. I'm not even kidding. Like people think like, oh, because you actually provide mentorship, this is why you're talking about it. No, it seriously helped me. And now I learned different things from different people over time, but mentorship helped me a lot. And then I started to see things turn around. It wasn't overnight, but over time it started to turn around. And then I started to make money from the XAU market to pay my cell phone bill, sometimes to put gas in my car, sometimes to pay for lunch for the week, like just like little things like that. And now I'm going to create a video, but I calculated how much money I've made in the markets this year so far, and it's over six figures. So, and I got laid off in July. So, let you know the power of the markets. So anyway, I plan on making a video probably before the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. I'm not quite sure yet. I got a lot of things to do, but I think that's a good point. Just trading for, paying for things in your life first. I think that if I would have started off with that mindset, I probably would have been much further along and maybe would have avoided that 30K loss. But, I don't know, for me, I had to learn the hard way, and then I got mentorship and just kept with it for years, and here I am. So, oh wow. Hey, that's awesome. Yes, absolutely. Oh, ATL, I love that. I love that area. I was there last year. Yeah, so, okay, good question. How has it been trading full time? So the whole trading full time thing, it's like, I know it's a term that people use, but I do not trade full time. Like full time in the sense of like you had maybe like, I used to work 9 to 10 hours per day when I was in my job. And I'm not sitting in front of the charts 8 to 9 hours. Mostly what I'm doing is planning content for YouTube. That is mostly what I'm doing. The other things that I do is basically I'm going through the questions inside of the Profitable Traders Academy. I'm responding to people. I'm looking at their charts. I'm planning content that I want to add to both the Profitable Traders Academy and the Trading Launchpad. So I'm doing something around trading, but it's mostly in the form of educating and teaching. So that's what trading full-time looks like for me. But to answer your question, it's been great because I'm looking at, just like different bills that I have. So one of my biggest bills is my student loan bill, and that's $2,000 a month. And I know some of you that's rent. Yes. But it's $2,000 per month. And for the most part, I've been using a combination of savings and the markets to pay my student loan bill every single month. And that was because I got an MBA from Yale. I graduated in 2022, and that tuition when I enrolled was $193,000. So, I got a partial academic scholarship, which is totally cool. I'll take any money they want to throw my way. But it's still something that's a responsibility that I have, but I'm so glad that I did that program, because I think that if I didn't go through that program and learn all the different things about business, I probably wouldn't have this YouTube channel, just because it really, okay, cool. Mel, check the link in my description. One of the links or both of the links in my description in order to get caught up. Okay, cool. In order to get caught up and in order to figure out which program is going to work for you, especially since you have a unique situation. So anyway, definitely check those out, or reach out to me on Instagram as well. So my handle is in the description. But basically, like I was saying, if I hadn't done that program, then I don't think I would be here making these YouTube videos, because I learned so much about business and I learned so much about the markets. I actually had a couple of classes that were based on investing. Now, it wasn't things that I'm teaching every single week here, but it was basically at a high level kind of things that big corporations look for, and also understanding how corporations buy companies, how they value companies and stuff like that. And it's been so interesting. And basically that just got me even more interested in investing and trading, because prior to me talking about trading here on YouTube for the past, 2+ years, I haven't done a live in 2 years, but basically I had knowledge of it. Yep. Okay. Yep. Gold is buying. Yep. Okay, cool. So I had a knowledge of it, but I wasn't this deep. It was just more like I buy something and then 6 months later I look at it, because I was busy with work. And I've had a lot of really high level engineering and high level management positions inside of engineering. So I was just busy. But basically, now that I have this understanding that I've built, that accelerated the MBA, accelerated that process. And then just me just getting mentorship and then just constantly learning things on my own. All those things gave me starting points. And then basically it was up to me to go deeper. And that's exactly what I've done. And yesterday I spent like 3 hours studying, because I'm reading this book now. It's called The Warren Buffett Way. And it's an older book, but it's a really, really good book, because a lot of books talk about his childhood and stuff like that, and all that is cool. But this really goes a bit deeper into what he was looking for when he acquired some of the companies that he did and bought stock in the like 70s, 80s, and 90s. So will you trade live with us now? There's nothing for me to trade. Jacques, there's nothing for me to trade. So that's why I said I'm not a full-time trader, because I don't trade all the time. I mostly do limit orders on other markets, but gold, I like to do live executions, and typically it's either the Asian session or the New York session. So hey, what's up? Yes, she is part of the Profitable Traders Academy, and she has made progress and have posted gains in the community after, what was that, like a week, 2 weeks, something like that. So yes, oh, I love that. Love that. Yeah. Study Buffett. Absolutely. He basically has the blueprint for it. Now his strategy is, thinking in decades, and to a degree, I think in decades, but and he's not a trader. He doesn't like options. I love options, but basically, and I will be talking more about options here on this channel because I absolutely love it. And I've been testing some other option strategies. So once I feel like I mastered that, then I'll talk about that as well. But for right now, it's just straight buying options. I'm really good at that. But anyway, just all these different things led to me being here, and so glad to be here with you all today. So glad. And yes, so if you want to know the pricing, it depends on what you're looking for. And there's 2 different programs. There's the Trade and Launchpad, and currently it is $97 per month or $597 per year. We will increase the price going into next year. And then we have the Profitable Traders Academy. Currently, that is $2,500 for the year. So you can either just sign up for that using the link in my description below, or you can sign up for a call with my program advisor, Colin, and he'll walk you through the program. And he's really good at that. And some people that are in the comments that are in the Profitable Traders Academy can attest to that. So anyway, so definitely check those out if you're interested. Cool. All right. So we got JP or somebody getting ready to talk in a little bit. So I am going to bounce off of here, but I'm so glad that you all joined me here. Like I really like this interaction here. I think I may do more of these. I don't know how often, just because a lot of times my videos are pre-recorded, and I do like that because it fits into my schedule. But this, I was at home today, wasn't traveling, and I was like, let me just go ahead and go live and talk about FOMC, talk about the stuff that I'm looking for inside of the market. And you all showed up, and please like this video. Please share it with someone who is looking to be successful inside of the markets. I mean, definitely. And then also, I forgot to ask this at the beginning. I noticed that people watch me all over the world. So drop in the comments where you are from, because I love seeing where all of you are from. So yes, thank you. You have an amazing day too. All right. So yeah, definitely drop in the comments either now in this live or after this live. Let me know where you're from, because hey, Los Angeles, cool. Nigeria, cool. That's amazing. Awesome. Okay, cool. That's my YouTube manager asking about this video. So anyway, Nigeria, that's incredible. I'm also in Los Angeles. So awesome. All right, cool. Well, let me get off of here. I'm going to go get some lunch. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, all those good things. Share with your friends. And I will see you on Saturday with a new gold video now that we got some movement inside of the market. So I'll see you later. Bye.